My name is Rebecca Schaad. I've been working with practices for many years to increase online visibility, and today we're going to show you some more tricks to be able to do that. Please go to the GoToWebinar panel to add any audience questions you may have. We want to make sure we get to those. If we need to email you afterwards with those answers, we will, but we will make sure that we get to any question that comes up. Today we're going to go over a few key items. With your online reputation management, we want to make sure that you are found online first. There needs to be a place where people can leave reviews, and so we are going to look to make sure that you are heard online, that you are seen online. We know that people are busy, and because they are busy, we need to make sure that they can leave these reviews simply without great effort, or they won't do it. I know everyone here has probably received different times when you're leaving a dentist or getting tires fixed on your car or a restaurant, and they ask you to leave a quick review. We'll show you how that works for your medical practice today as well. Part of that, we'll be going deep diving into Google Business Profile and Apple Business Connect. That is a huge way that you can be found online, and we want to make sure that if you have questions on how to set that up, those are answered. They're both free. Some practices may reach out to you and say, hey, we'll set this up for you and just charge $1,000 or something. Don't do it. You set this up for free. There's no reason to spend money doing that, and we'll walk through what that looks like. Lastly, we want to make sure that you know how to respond to reviews. A caveat here, if your legal counsel has told you not to respond to reviews, do what you've been told. We do want to make sure that we stay HIPAA compliant, that no PHI is exposed during any response to a review, but there are good ways to do this, and so we will show you what we can do here. We're going to look at a poll real quick so we can see where you guys are at. So if you don't mind, I am going to launch a quick poll. This will just take a moment for you to answer, and we'll go from there. So the question is, have you searched for your business name while in incognito mode to find your Google Business Profile? I'll give you just a moment for you to answer this poll, and then we'll move on. Also important, I'll just mention while some of you are filling this out, when you're searching for your business to see where do I end up in a keyword search? Am I at the top? Am I in the local search in the top 3? There's a couple of mistakes that practices make. One is you search for yourself while you're sitting at your desk in your business. One of the factors that Google uses to say if this is a good answer or not is geolocation. So if you're sitting in the business asking if it is a good business for pediatrician near me, it's going to skew the result and automatically put you towards the top. Same with if you are not in incognito mode and you've ever pulled up your website before, then we know it is a good answer again. And so we want to search incognito. Okay, so we are going to now look at the poll results. Thank you. I think someone put those up for me. Fantastic. With this result, we have 23% said yes, they have done that. Kudos to you. And 77% have not tried that. I do want to encourage you to do this. It is really helpful. So we're going to look at what Google Business Profile and why it's important here. Let's see. I think that's closed. Hopefully you guys can see my screen now for online business reviews and how to grow your practice. So the first step is what we were just looking for. You do want to confirm that you do have a Google business profile, that it's been tested and verified as well. So we're going to see what this looks like here. I do have a slide to show you later, but I'm going to show you live on the screen what this is going to look like. Here I've done a keyword search for triangle pediatrics, and I wanted to see where they came up. What you're seeing here to the right is the Google business profile and the information that we're going to dive into here. With this information, when you pull this up, you may question, do I own this or someone in my practice owns this? And so you can click on Own This Business. And when that pops up, if it's not owned, it'll say, do you want to claim this business? And you can say yes and move from there. If it is owned by someone, a Gmail address will come up. And then hopefully you know who this is. If you don't, you can request access and move from there. But let's say you're in here and you're not able to actually access the back end of Google Business Profile, but you see there's a mistake, or you want to check the information that's currently displaying for anyone who searches you up. Again, this is your calling card online. So important because Google is the largest search engine. It is the most trusted search engine. Last year, over 90% of the desktop or laptop searches were done through Google Chrome. If you're on your mobile phone, over 96% of those searches are done on Google Chrome as well on a phone. So that is why this is vital to your business, to make sure this information is set up. So while I'm on here, I'm going to go to Suggest and Edit to make sure key information is showing up correctly. When this pulls up, you can very quickly walk through and edit information on here. The name of the practice, sometimes that's slightly off. You can request a change here, but I'm going to look at a couple of key items. So you're always put into a category for a search. Sometimes if Google doesn't know what you should be under, you're just going to be thrown into a category and it may or may not be correct. I know for this practice, they are not a children's hospital. So when I click on that option, I'm going to have additional options up here. When I start typing in, I'll do pediatric, you can see a lot of different specialists will come up if you fall into that category. You can also choose pediatric clinic. You could also do pediatrician if you wanted to go there. I'm going to choose pediatric clinic. It fits best for this practice. For location, you do want to also verify, is your address correct? Do you need a suite number in here? You can add that. If you're located within an additional facility, if you are in a strip mall, the name of a medical kind of group of facility, you want to add that in here so your location is quick and easy to find. Hours are really key. So many times I click in here and it says you're closed completely, that there are no hours listed. So if you've never done this and it says closed, you want to change that immediately and put in specific hours. Whatever's listed here, we're just going to go into the detail of those hours. By clicking a pencil, you'll be able to edit. If it's the same hours for multiple days during the week, just select those and then select the new hours down here that we want to edit to. I'm going to go back.
Hey, Rebecca, we did have a question come in that we may want to answer before we move on. One of the questions that came in is, what did you click on to find the Google owner button? Could you just review that one more time real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're in the Google business profile, so when I have my card over here to the right that came up when I searched, there usually is an Own This Business. If that is missing, not showing up, the owner has hidden that. That means probably someone in the practice does own it, and you'll have to go about that a different way. We do have some links that we can show. Google has fantastic support, and they can walk you through seeing who does own this business. Thank you, Doris.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Okay, so yeah, so we did the hours. We also want to make sure phone number. So some clinics will have a specific number. I have seen provider cell phone numbers listed here. Big no-no. We do not want our providers getting calls here, but you do want to make sure this is not your fax number, but the key number you want people calling. And so you might have a direct line that is different than listed on your website that you want here, or you might have multiple phone numbers to reach you. Choose the main one that you want to be listed here. Lastly, with your website, here there is an error with this website, and that is that it is not listed as HTTPS. And the S just means that it is a secure platform. And with that SSL certificate, we want to make sure that Google knows this is a good answer. We want people to know that your website is safe to go to and to get information from. So what I've done is I pulled up the website here, and if I just copy the address, and you do want to pull up the live site so you're getting the correct address, we're going to place that in here. And now you'll see the S is in there, and it is a better URL for Google to have listed here for you. Also in here, before, I don't own this Google Business Profile, but it's going to let me make some changes. It will verify. Am I just a robot, or am I really giving valid information? They always research this before they'll change it. But with the valid information, they'll update. You can also add photos. Here you should always have your logo added. You should have the front of your practice or building, thinking as a first-time visitor here, as someone who's coming up to this practice, what am I looking for this to look like? And then a great place to add tour of the office. So you can just come in, what does the waiting room look like, exam rooms, different things like that. As you're updating this, you do want to update it about monthly with different information. Pictures are a great way to do that. I'm going to click Submit. Because I put these through almost daily with different edits, this will be changed within the hour. But for you, it might take a few days because if you don't do it often, they are going to check out that information. So again, we just went through some important things for your Google Business Profile. So why reviews matter? I know I've heard from some practices, you know, it's just angry reviews online, so we really don't want to even go in there. We don't want to respond. They kind of want to ignore the elephant in the room. But please know your parents and patients are, and prospective parents and patients are not ignoring the reviews. In fact, they're reading through them, and that's why they really matter. We really want to make sure that there is a great positive first impression online. And so as you're being searched, we want that star rating for medical practice to kind of sit around 4.5, 4.8. I've also been asked, don't we want 5 stars? It's actually been proven if you are a strict 5 stars, it's not always believed. It is actually more believable to be a 4.7, 4.8 star rating because not everyone is going to love you. We want everyone to love us, but not everyone will. And so as a part of that, it shows that you are getting a lot of reviews on there, and we want that consistency. Also, reviews matter due to social proof. Over 50% of consumers are going to trust online reviews as much as they're going to trust a personal recommendation from a friend or a family member. And because of that, and because people move around, might not know someone in the new area, this is building additional trust with them by seeing your reviews online. Lastly, reviews we know drive adoption in choosing your practice. 99.9% of shoppers are going to read online reviews. You might not consider choosing a pediatric practice as online shopping, but it is. It is definitely online shopping. When people are choosing, a fridge they're going to buy or a TV or where they're going to eat and they're reading reviews, how much more will they put stock in a review? Because they're building relationship with you over the next 18, 30 years, how many kids they might have, how often they come to your practice. And so it is key for them to have trust even before they walk in that door to your practice. We're going to launch the next one. And this is a very quick poll again, just to see what you guys think. Do you currently use a service or platform to increase your Google Star reviews? If you use Remedy Connect, that is going to be Review Builder. If you're with us for websites, we have 2 of our 3 SEO platforms do offer Review Builder built in to that, so you might have a yes there. If you don't currently use a platform, that would be a no. We'll give you a moment. And some of you may just ask patients to review you on a case-by-case basis as well, instead of sending it to everyone. So I'll share the results here. 26% do use a platform. 48% are not actively acting. Let's see. Trying to make this bigger, sorry, are not doing it. And then we have 26% that are really just asking certain people if they want to leave a review, but you're not asking everyone. I'm going to hide the results there. So as we walk through what we offer for Review Builder, I want to encourage those that are not currently using a platform to look into this. Again, Google is looking for consistent reviews coming in every 1 to 2 weeks. You want to have a minimum of 125 reviews so that it's showing what you really are like as a practice. What is a reflection? Your Google Star rating will be that reflection. And then with that consistency of reviews, it really tells you how you're doing as a practice as well. How can you do better, and what can you do differently to meet the needs of your families and patients? We like to say around here a couple of things. Every parent and patient is looking for space to be seen and heard. And this does give that opportunity for all of your families to be seen and heard. The other half on our side as a practice is we have blind spots, and sometimes we don't know where we're missing the mark and where we can do better. And so we're going to look at that here. I'm going to show you what this looks like on our side. So if you're with Office Practicum or ACW, we are electronically connected that we can send this out automatically at the end of each business day. If you use a different EHR, you can still totally do this. We can look at what that connection might be, or you have the option to manually send out the reviews at the end of each day with just 2 clicks. So very easy to do. When the text message goes out, we just want to ask a simple question. You can ask whatever you want, but usually, thank you for coming in today. Please rate your experience, or how was your visit? And we're asking 1 to 5 stars. We call this here, we're taking their pulse. What is their initial reaction to how the visit overall went that day? For most of our practices, we do set a threshold at 4 or 5 stars. They're happy. they did have a good visit, and we want to send them directly to Google. You do have the option to choose a different platform. It doesn't have to just be Google, but again, that is the most powerful platform, so we do want to give that as an option. I'm going to choose 5 here. I'm not clicking anything else, but within 3 seconds, it is going to pop up for their Google business profile so that I'm able to very quickly and easily leave that review. Here I can choose a star rating. I can do additional text. I can even add photos and click post. So here again, there are no hurdles. There's nothing stopping them from very quickly saying they're happy. What we have found is happy people don't always search you out to leave that Google review because they're happy. They expected a great experience, they received it, and then they just move on with their day. On the other side of that, for those that are not very happy, those that had a bad experience, they are much more likely to shout it from the mountaintop and tell everyone what that experience was like. So here as we look, we'll take you through what happens if they did not have a fantastic day. So I marked 3 stars here, and instead of going to a platform to shout it to the world, instead we want them to tell us what went wrong during this visit. You can ask whatever questions you want. We do recommend having 5 or less. I think 3 or so in a text box is really a good sweet spot. If you ask more questions and they think this is going to take longer than 1 minute, they will not fill it out. So we do want to be respectful of their time. We also are really hoping to get good answers from them. So we'll give you some suggestions of questions to ask. I like a 5-star rating, again, because it's super quick. And then we'll give them a text box to fill out any information they want. At any time, you can change these questions. You might have a pain point in your practice. So here we've given you the opportunity to address that pain point. When this is submitted, it will go to as many email addresses as you want, but internally within the office, so you guys can hopefully take action. And the next time someone walks through your door, they can have a better experience. Again, with those blind spots, you might have missed that something was not working cleanly within the practice, and this will just help you be better and better each time. So here is just a quick overview of how Review Builder is going to work. We want to make it easy. If things aren't easy, it's probably not going to work. If it is simple to do, they're more likely, like we showed you, to leave a review for your practice. It's really effortless on your side. We simplify the process, we reduce friction, so they are more likely to leave those reviews. And again, don't look poorly upon someone giving you a 1 to 3 star that goes to the survey. It is just one more way that you guys can become better when you know what's going on behind the scenes at the practice that you might not see. We always want to encourage that feedback consistently. I've been asked, why does this go out to the same families for each well visit? Because each day can look very different. You might have different staff up front, different nurses, different providers. So even though that family has recently filled out a survey, we want to give them the opportunity to do it again because they may have a different response this time. So again, it's just to your benefit to not pick and choose who receives surveys, but to have it go out to everyone to get a full look at what those look like for your practice. Lastly, you want to highlight these reviews. You are going to see some amazing reviews come in because you're asking for feedback and we're sending them to Google or Facebook, whatever platform you want to land on. you're going to see some really wonderful reviews come through that highlight staff, your providers, the practice as a whole. When that happens, we encourage you to create social posts around the positive feedback, highlight those positive reviews on your website, especially on the homepage, that they can walk through, and encourage additional families that may see these reviews to come and check out your practice. We want to look quickly at Apple Business Connect. This is very similar, like I said, to Google Business Profile, but you're going to set it up separately. There is a link at the end that'll take you through how to set up it's called a place card within Apple Business Connect. Now, the reviews that are pulled in there are usually from Yelp. They do work with several third-party companies to pull in reviews, but a large one is Yelp. If you are set up with an iPhone, you'll already have access to set up an Apple account. If you don't, it's free, and you can set this up for the practice as well. There are several places in Apple Business Connect just to pay attention to. I'll highlight fast. One is called Actions. There you're going to add links. Where can they schedule an appointment? You can link back to a specific service page or your hours or your location. So the links back to your website are great with the actions. There's also a place in there called Showcases. This will only show up for 30 days, but highlight special seasonal things that your practice may be doing. Flu clinics right now, maybe for back to school before sports, you guys are offering specials on sports physicals, or partnering with schools in your area, or doing a backpack bash to help kids that need supplies to go back to school. You can showcase that, and those will be special links on your Apple Business Connect. Just like on Google Business Profile, add photos, your logo, outside pic tours of the office. This is much smaller than Google Maps, but it is really growing rapidly. Apple has spent a tremendous amount of money increasing their presence on these maps, and so we want to make sure that you're listed there. You would be surprised to know many pediatric practices, family practices, have not taken advantage of this and have not put all of their information onto Apple Business Connect. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that today. It is quick and easy. So lastly, we're just going to look at some quick reviews. If you could answer this for me today. Do you currently respond to online reviews, to both positive and negative? So take just a moment to answer that. And then we'll finish by, how do you respond appropriately to reviews? And thank you for your extra few minutes today as we walk through that. Doris, if any questions came in, let me know that I need to answer now, or we'll look at the end.
Yep, Rebecca, we did have two come in. I will give you one about social media. It says, what about the social media option on Google? Is there an easy way to link to the Facebook site?
So you could add it under the FAQs, and you could add a link under there for FAQs. I don't know of another way. I'd have to look in the back end, so I can get, if they left their email, I'll get an answer from them, from our SEO specialist, to see what the best way to do that is.
Okay.
I'm going to close out this poll real quick and just share the answer, if that's okay. So we have, are you responding? 57% said yes, 18% no, and 25% we have sometimes. So when we're looking at these reviews and why we respond, we just want to look at the importance of this. One of the things we love to say is stay positive. Sometimes when the parents are coming into your practice, it's on their worst day. And so it's not always a reflection of something that went wrong during the visit. It may be just the hardship of what that day looked like for them. And so we want to look and truly analyze what was the feedback that came through. There may be common issues. I have found this in many practices. They have said, we didn't even know this was an issue, and now we've had multiple people bring it up this month. And then in a staff meeting, they were able to look at it, troubleshoot it together, and how they could look at that differently. So really, it was a positive experience in the end because they were able to address it and change. You're also always enhancing the parent or patient experience for the next parent or patient that walks through that door. We do want to respond to all reviews. Like I said, there is a lower trust when you only respond here and there. That trust went as low as 30% to what the reviews were saying, when it went up as high as 88% when they saw people were responding to both negative and positive reviews. So give equal time there. In general, I don't like going back more than 2 months to respond to reviews. I don't want to stir anything up, but start now. Don't look through the reviews and go, oh my gosh, we've never responded in 4 years, and start responding. Just start today. You can't change what was done in the past, but you can start fresh now and going through each of those and highlighting those. For reevaluation, we touched briefly on this, but parents will get surveys for each and every visit, and that is vital. We want to know each day can look different. We want to know what that specific visit looked like, the staff that they interacted with, what was that, and that definitely helps you guys know how to address each issue that may come up, because it can vary from visit to visit. So different ways that we can respond. When there is a positive review that comes in, we want to reiterate. We want to agree with the person who left that, but we also want to always make sure we're not exposing PHI with this, and that we are making sure that we're keeping private information private. So here are some examples that you could use when responding to reviews. It's really good to use the name of your practice in the response as well, and then to highlight something. So if someone pointed out a provider, a staff member, a specific service they were pleased with, say it again in your response. So we're so encouraged to receive such a kind and detailed review for Pretend Pediatrics. And our team, we are grateful to work with staff members that care for every patient with diligence and concern. So just some additional examples. You do want to make sure that they're different. Don't copy and paste the same response again and again. If you see their name, with the Google reviews, their name, don't address them by name, because we're not ever admitting they are a parent or a patient in the practice. We're keeping this very general with the feedback. Now, the harder one, when negative reviews come in, we have to take it with a grain of salt. It is their opinion of what happened, and I will say often what the parent is putting online doesn't always line up with what actually happened. One that is common is, we showed up for our appointment and we had to wait a whole hour to be seen. That parent or patient forgot to mention they showed up 30 minutes late, and the practice was so kind to work them back into the schedule and still see them that day. So there can be missing information, but again, we can't expose that parent. We can't say you were late and we still worked you in and you should be happy about it. You have to be very grace-filled while answering them. So an example, Pretend Pediatrics was born to meet the needs of our surrounding community and family. We care deeply for the families and patients we partner with in their health journey. Due to privacy concerns, details cannot be discussed online, but we welcome a phone call to discuss this further. Thank you for reaching out to us. You can leave someone's name and phone number as well. That's going one step further if you'd like to do that. If they ever leave their information on that survey and give you their email or phone number, call or reach out same day. They are asking for additional information. Let's give that to them. Lastly, we do have some key information that is going to be listed at the end that will help you. We would love to walk you through any questions you have for this and do any demo. If you think Review Builder would be a powerful addition to your practice, then we want to make sure that you can have a demo and get the information needed. It is very simple to set up and will make a huge difference in your practice. And Doris, I know we had one more question at least.
Well, actually, Rebecca, we've had a lot of questions come in. So if everybody's willing to stay on a little bit longer, I will go through all of them. We want to make sure we answer everybody's question on the call. So I'm just going to start at the top, Rebecca.
Okay.
First question is, Google keeps changing our hours. We have early clinic at 7:30 and our main office opens at 8 o'clock. Any ideas on how to get Google to keep the early clinic open time?
Now, I don't know how they would be changing it unless they're checking against your website. So I would first go to your website because Google does use additional information to make sure the best information is showing up on Google Business Profile. So make sure that is listed out correctly on the website. And then you can also answer that in the FAQs. Do you offer ask the question and pose the answer, but do you offer early morning sick visits or clinic, however you want to name it, and then answer that as well. That always helps. And by updating your Google Business Profile in the FAQs, that helps boost that profile as well. And then go in where I showed you suggest and edit and put in the correct hours. They do not have the option of listing out, these are for quick clinic and then our normal hours start at this time. You just have to choose the hours listed, and that should help. There is also a help ticket you can put through Google to ask who is changing this information.
Thanks, Rebecca. Okay, the next question is, what would you consider the top 5 review sites aside from the big 3, which would be Google, Facebook, and Yelp? Any specific doctory sites such as Doximity?
So some other big ones that parents look at are going to be health grades, but that's not practice specific, it's provider specific. Yelp, because that goes to Apple Business Connect, Vitals. I think those are some key ones that you'll have there.
Okay. When responding to reviews, should we respond even if they only leave a star rating?
Oh, great question. Yeah. Respond with the name of your practice and just say thank you. You know, here at Pretend Pediatrics, we appreciate our patients and thank you for taking the time to review us. Something general.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on leaving a review us on Yelp, providing the fees are waived for increasing the amount of reviews that you get?
I have mixed feelings on Yelp, and I don't love them because you can pay for reviews there, and they'll ask you to pay to take down bad reviews. So even though Apple is going to pull from there, I don't suggest actually setting up an account there. That is up to you. You can do your individual research. Google is a better platform.
Okay, and we have one last final question, Rebecca. I'm going to try to read through this the best I can. It says, thoughts on social media platforms to create better outreach and humanizing the practice, or getting to know your doctor in Q&As. Which social media platform gets more traffic for the specific demographic? Is it Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or something else?
Great question. I love that question. It's YouTube. So Facebook is great. If you have a following there, always continue with Facebook. You can double post to Instagram. It is really great to curate those responses and post differently. If you use Canva, you can curate a post that is specifically for Instagram versus Facebook. And I do recommend doing that. But videos. We talked about Google being the largest search engine. Google owns YouTube. YouTube has taken just a huge boost. So providers that are doing quick videos, intro videos, answering quick questions, seasonal things that are going around, go and do a quick YouTube video and then take that video, post it on Facebook, highlight it on your website, and now you're using your social channel in multiple platforms.
Wonderful, Rebecca. That's all the questions that we have for today.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Sorry for my cough. I almost got through without losing it to my cough today. Reach out directly to me if you have additional questions, and we will see you again on November 12th. Take care.